Hello and welcome back to Spoken Essays. I am Harshil Vora and you are watching the live video where I figure out how to code. Now let us begin and let's see what we were up to the last time. So without further ado, let's share my screen and go to where the code is. Okay, so now I've shared my screen and let's continue. This is where we were the last time. Now I'm supposed to do this, create change middleware to create a time server, right? Okay, but first I'll familiarize myself with some code, what we did. So we've created a JSON path, we've created a root path, we've also created a root path which also logs to the console what the IP is, what the path is, and what the method is, whoever the user is, of whoever the user is. Okay, it could be anyone, and the method they're using is get. Yeah, cool. So app.use a callback function that takes that logs to the console the method, the path, and the IP, and then it writes the next command. Next command would probably be these two. Otherwise, unless told otherwise. Yeah. Okay. Let's read this and continue. I'll close these tabs. I don't think we need this. I need this tab anymore. I'll keep localhost open so that I can take a look at the viewer, take a look at what it looks like. Anyway, so chain middleware to create a time server. So now we're going to work on creating a time server, right? Middleware can be mounted at a specific root using app.method and then the path and then middleware function. Okay, so we are coming across another method called literally okay. So it could be a get method, or it could be a post method, it could be any method, delete method. Okay. So app.method and then the path of the method and then the middleware function. Middleware can also be changed within a root function. Look at the following example. Okay, so app.get user. Okay, so this app, then that's the method. So it's the get method. Then we write the path, of course, and then we write the callback function. Also, what we know as middleware function. Okay, so middleware function, it takes request, response, and next as arguments, and then it writes request.user get the user sync. Okay, and then the next command. Then we have another function which is also a part of a middleware function, which takes a request and a response as request and response from the function and sends the request to user. Okay, yeah. This approach is useful to split the server operations into smaller units. This leads to a better app structure and the possibility to reuse code in different places. This approach can also be used to perform validation on the data. Okay. At each point of the middleware stack, you can block the execution of the current chain and pass control to functions as what? I'm going to read that line again. I understood, but while reading that, that did not make sense to me. Okay. So we will see how the advanced express section. We will see how in the advanced express section, no problem. Okay, but for now, I suppose we're going to do something with this. Okay, so in the root app.get now, do we have now? No, so we're going to create one. I suppose we're going to take a look at that. Yeah, we have app.get actually, yeah we do, but it's not now, so I think now is what we'll use for the next one. Okay, in the root app.get now, change the middleware function and the final handle. I do not see it. Did I maybe miss a step? I don't think so. I think I'm supposed to create one right now. So app.get semicolon is needed, of course. Although Even if I don't add it, the function seems to run just fine. Okay, so app.get, then we write the root now, and then in the arguments chain a middleware function in the final handler. Okay. In the middleware function, you should call the current time to request object to the request object in the request.time key. Okay. I suppose this is the request object. Yeah. You can use date toString in the handler, respond with a JSON object taking the structure. Time is required time. Okay. The test will not pass if you don't change the middleware. If you mount the function somewhere else, the test will fail even if the output result is correct. Okay. I suppose let's get into now then. Right. Now I'll use this syntax to get to the response. Okay. Function request response and next. Then we write the function itself inside this. How do you want it? In the request.time key, you can use new date toString in the handler, respond with a JSON object. That's the handler, right? I'll need a hint to understand what they request us of. They request us to do. Okay, so app.get now, of course. Yes, so request string equals example. We're not getting it. Wait a minute, let's try and understand this. I'll at least fill this much. So comma space, then new function, request response, I suppose. Then the arrow function, and then this, where I write response.send request.string semicolon. Right. I wish I had a way to, right. Now inside this, thank you for the hint. I have a clue now. Adding a new property to request object in the middleware function, which is request.time, I suppose. Nope, that's not what I want. So suppose that's not where I'm supposed to do it. Okay, maybe okay. Request.string equals example. What do you want? Use date toString in the handler. Respond with a JSON object taking the structure. What is that? Yeah, I'm completely lost. I'll take a look at the solution. Okay, so I am to write request.time. Okay, equals, new data object, toString, semicolon, then next. Next would take us to this, where it would, okay, so instead of, request.string, because we've turned this into a string anyway, so I should write request.time, I suppose. But we want that in this format, right? Time, okay, so I'll use that here. I think this one should work. Let's check. Response.send, and then inside this we have an object with a key and a value pair. That's it. Hopefully that's it. Save. Run this. Does this have any errors? No. Okay. I'm going to refresh this page. Okay. Now this is at now. So I write slash now and it prints the time. I mean the day. Date. The date. And of course the current time. The current time is 8:30 GMT Indian Standard Time. Yeah, cool. Localhost 3000. I passed the test. And what did it do? It did a bunch of things. I suppose it printed this many things. That's where it begins. Get and then the HTTPS link and then options, API change middleware time and yeah. Okay. Next. When building an API, we have to allow users to communicate to us what they want to get from our service. For example, if the client is requesting information about a user stored in the database, they need a way to let us know which user they are interested in. One possible way to achieve this result is by using root parameters. Root parameters are named segments of the URL. I need to understand this statement again. What do they want? When building an API, okay. So when I'm building an API, or anyone is building an API, we have to allow users. By the way, is the mic on? Yeah, the mic is on. Okay, so when we are building an API, we have to allow users to communicate to us what they want to get from our service. Okay. Right. Okay. For example, if the client, as in a user that is looking at our website, I suppose, if the client is requesting information about a user stored in the database, well, that's different. A client would be maybe perhaps the computer. If the client is requesting information about a user stored in the database, they need a way to let us know which user they're interested in. This might be used with logins, I suppose. Yeah, logging in. One possible way to achieve this result is by using root parameters. Okay. Root parameters are named segments of the URL delimited by slashes. Yeah, delimitation is also used for commas. So if you've heard of a CSV file, it's similar, but instead of commas we have slashes. Right. Each segment captures the value of the part of the URL which matches its position. Okay. The captured values can be found in the request of parameters object. So root path is this user / then colon user ID / book / colon book ID. Right. And the actual request looks like this. User 546 book 6754. Request parameters are user ID 546 and the book ID 6754. Right, so they're giving us an example of what the root path is, what the actual request looks like. Oh, and what the request parameters are. Build an echo server. As if I know what that means, my friend, echo server. I think I do. Let's try. Mounted at the root get /word /echo respond with a JSON object. I think I'm missing a lot of context here. I definitely think I'm missing a lot of context here about Node. I do not know what an echo server is, even if I read this much. I mean, of course, I can look at the solution and get a hint. But what are they saying? Build an echo server. Okay. So we created a time server, we created a JSON server, we created a root server. Okay. It says get, so I think I'm supposed to write app.get. So app.get. Okay, building a cursor mounted at the root. Okay, so that's the root. This doesn't mention the path, so I'm going to leave the path empty. I can't leave it empty apparently. I'll keep a slash here, so root. It doesn't say root, it says a root. Yeah, the different words. Respond with a JSON object. Okay. You know what? I'll Google what an echo server is. Go. In Node, please create echo server in Node.js. I swear these guys make it. Okay, so it says get request response sources or sources, whatever. Create a server, accept the message, return the message to a client. In the first step, the require is written next. Server equals HTTP create server. What? I don't think this is supposed to go that way. We haven't even learned about those objects yet. But okay, let's try and understand. We want something to respond with requests, parameters, word. Okay, so what they're saying is if I write this, yeah, freeCodeCamp echo. So do I use this, I suppose, app.get. I'm sure they're not trying to be cryptic, but okay. So freeCodeCamp echo, what? Yeah, I'm feeling serious deja vu right now. I saw a dream where I saw this. Anyway, yeah, so deja vu happened apparently. Close, please. Right. Of course, this still says not fun because I haven't written anything. Okay, but I suppose we're supposed to write something here. Accept the message. Server.listen. Nope. HTTP echo server. Okay, so request response is needed, I suppose. Let's do that. Of course, this is very different. This code is like very different than what I have been writing. Let's look at the next website. Server.on request response, let body request on. Oh, okay, that's a lot of things. I do not see any path variable parameter. Let's read this debug mode.net. Variable HTTP require HTTP. We're not even using that. Literally writes create server function request response. Wow. Okay. Fine. I'll request and response. So I'm writing a callback function which will return what? I have no clue. Respond with a JSON object, so I suppose I have to write respond with a .json object inside this. What am I to write? Taking in the structure echo and word. Right. Fly me to the moon. Na, 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 na. I definitely need a hint. In order to get root parameters from a post request, the general. Where does it say that I have to request it from the app.post? Not even get. I was completely wrong from the beginning. Okay. Word echo is the parameter. अच्छा ऐसे लिखना है. What? App.post, then the root, which is parameter 1 and parameter 2, request response. So yeah, I mean I'm 1% right if that. Okay, variable 1 parameter 1, variable parameter 1 and parameter 2, request equals request dot params, request was JSON, request dot params. Yeah, being 1% right doesn't get me anyway params. Let's read this. I have no clue. Okay, so app.get word echo request response. Okay, so I have to create a variable that would store request parameters, I suppose. Okay, so I was there but not there. So constant word equals requested parameters. So echo is to stay the same. So constant word. What happened then? Params. Yep. Params. Right. Now because I'm declaring a variable in here, I need to wrap these in curly brackets. Now we're done. Echo. Save, cancel and run again. If I refresh, this would echo freeCodeCamp and we pass the test, I suppose. Yep. I still don't know. Okay, yeah. So first it wrote the echo test parameter, and then echo test. 3 ways. And of course it also did this. Okay. Yeah. Definitely need some. And I did not even write get. Wait. Am I supposed to write get? Oh, I'm supposed to write get. So this post was just to throw me off. Well, not to throw me off. I should have read this. If someone tells you to build a get or post endpoint, you would achieve the same using app.get or app.post accordingly. If I refresh this, of course, this would still work. Bye. Okay. Another way to get input from the client is by encoding the data after the root path using a query string. What does that mean? I'm staring blankly. I'm staring with a blank at a screen. Right. Another common way to get input from the client is by encoding the data after the root path using a query string. The query string is delimited by a question mark, and includes field equals value couples. Each couple is separated by an ampersand. Express can parse the data from the query. Wow. I'm going to read that a few more times in my head. You guys enjoy the music. I'm getting some idea about what this is. So let me go to google.com. Now this will be personal information. Let's look for images of cats. Okay, so the moment I wrote cats, these details were looked at. So I want you to keep your eyes on this URL here. Before, when I went here, it was google.com as go away. If I go to the next, the moment I wrote the cats, of course it wrote the bro. This is the string. If I only want to search for something, I need not write the rest of the code. The rest of the code is my user data, is my data. Well, not my data, but you get it. The data that describes my request. So of course these variables don't mean anything to me, but I'm sure they mean something to Google. So we have variable number 1, and this question mark is what happens. Then you can see here the query string is delimited by a question mark. So the query string is delimited by a question mark. So let's jump a little bit. I'm using, so we have ampersand here. Yeah, you can see here each couple is separated by an ampersand. You can see here field value couples. Yeah, I literally showed you the field value couples. So if you look here, yeah, the first query string is q equals cats. It starts with a question. So search query, the query is cats, and then we have ampersand, which means that field value couple is separated by an ampersand. Then we go to this value here, key value pair or field value pair couple, and you can see it's okay. That's a long string. Yeah, I think it goes till here, I suppose. Yeah. Then you have another ampersand which would tell us the source, which is HP EI. Source equals this much, my bad. Yeah, source is HP. I don't know what that means, why it says HP. Yeah. What if I change this to perhaps Microsoft? Yeah, I'm not sure it does anything to our request, because even if I remove all of this and only keep cats, it will still respond with cats. So I think that is for the server to determine. I do not know what that is at all. But you can see these different the couples are here. Now there's no other question mark here. So that tells me that there's only one query string, I suppose. I'm not even sure what I'm saying, so let's not speak further. Let's read. Express can parse the data from the query string and populate the object request.query. Some characters like the percent, we saw that, cannot be in URLs and have to be encoded in a different format before you can send them. If you use the API from JavaScript, you can use specific methods to encode or decode these characters. Oh. So that's how user data must be sent. I wonder how they send the data, password data, user data, as in very sensitive information, credit card details. Yeah, that is very intriguing. Credit card details. Anything that involves money or privacy, which is almost all things, I should say, except for your computer specs. Apparently, everyone in the internet, the moment you start logging in everywhere, you'll know. Yeah, the internet will know what your computer's information is, what version you're running, what device it is, whether it has a microphone or not, everything really. I'm sure someone can hear us other than YouTube right now. Okay. Anyway, that's not a thought I would like to entertain at this time. Let me just check. We do not have any. Okay, no problem. Messages yet. Right. The query string is delimited by a question mark and includes field couple yeah, I've already read that. Each couple is separated via, okay. So I'll read that. Root path is library, for example. Then actual request URL would be library, then the question mark. Just like this cats thing, we saw search being the root path. And then library, the user ID is this, then the book ID is this. That's the request URL after whatever the domain name would be. And the query would take it as a JSON object, I suppose. Yeah, user ID 546 and book ID 6754. So user requested this book ID, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to create, build an API endpoint. Definitely think I'm missing something here. Yeah. Or maybe this is for us to understand. So we are building an API endpoint, okay, mounted at get name. So that tells me, so I'm supposed to write app.get. So we're using the get method mounted at name. So the path is name. I've got that right, I think. And here respond with a JSON document. Very good. So I write the request and response again. Request and response. Now I'll write this too, just in case. Oh, right. Okay. Inside this is where we work on code. Respond with a JSON document, taking the structure name, first name, last name. Okay, so we are going to use this structure. It means I should write response.json name and file. Yeah, I suppose. Let's paste this much. Copy and paste over this. Very good. Respond with a JSON document. Now this is, I don't know whether this is a document or something else. The first and last name parameter should be encoded in a query string. Example, question mark first equals first name and last equals last name. In the following exercise, you are going to receive data from a post request at the same name root path. If you want, you can use the method app.root get handler post handler. Oh. Sure, why not? Something new. No, because we're receiving and sending. Yes, sure, why not? Thank you. So I'll paste that much. I'll cut this here and paste it here. I'll cut this and I'll go to get handler. Yeah, let's remove that. Right. I don't know what to do with that yet, so I'll definitely get a hint. What I can do is actually, test my output this way. Maybe testing my output will tell me what to do. npm start, a bunch of errors, handler is not defined because it's not defined here, right? I might as well write that callback function here as well. Paste this. Fly me to the moon. Suppose I'm missing something here. Oh, JSON. Acha. Right. Needed. That here. And another one here. Yep, okay. Now there's a red underline here. For what? Because of response.json. Okay, works. Now let's run this file again. Wait, I have to save this and then run this file again and vim.start. It is listening. Okay. So your API endpoint should respond with this Mick Jagger and the name endpoint is called with okay. So I'll write this much. Name slash no slash question mark first. Okay. Returns with first name and last name. It should return with Mick and Jagger. I got the moves like Jagger. I got the moves like Jagger. Okay, that means I need to store that here somehow. So suppose like this constant, I'll create two constants now. One this and one that. This will be first name. This will be last name. I don't know how to get the two parameters, so I'll need a hint. Okay, given the endpoint URL, okay, we can extract the query parameters first and last and the corresponding values from the request.query object. I should have read that. Where does it say that? Here. Ha ha ha. Okay, request.query object and send a custom JSON response containing values derived from the value parameters from the object. Yeah, I need so variable first name. Come on, and move. Right. First name and last name. So not request parameters. I'm supposed to write request query dot first and last. Oh, acha. Request dot query dot first first query dot last. Yeah. First and last response request. Oh, and they're using get apparently, so I don't need to do that. That post thing apparently. Fine, if you say so. Or you can destructure and rename the keys. Oh, अच्छा ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं. Kidding me. I'm definitely going to use this. Okay. So not get git yeah, okay. Bye. Variable first name, last name, request not query. Then response of JSON name, first name, last name. I can go. Yeah, you can go. Right. That's it. Huh. Right. Where do you begin and where do you end? This is where it begins. This is where it ends. We need another one of these. Save, cancel, and run again. Yeah. So if I write this, now it will say make Jagger. Of course it will say make Jagger now. Wait, what do you do? Yeah. Quite frustrating really. I have no clue what is going on. But yeah, now I'm going to take a short break. When I come back, I will continue with coding more.